Birding has become a popular activity nationwide and in North Dakota too. We are visiting with conservation biologist Sandra Johnson on places to go birding, equipment, and types of bird species we might find in our state. I'm Mike Anderson with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. Sandra, why has birding become so popular?
Well, the last couple years we've really seen an increase in the number of younger birders, and a lot of that can be attributed to the pandemic when a lot of us were home, spending a lot of time inside, but we'd go outside in our backyards and people started noticing nature and birds more. So we've kind of seen, an increase in the number of younger folks, everybody enjoying birds.
If you're interested in birding, if you've never done it, what are some of the pieces of equipment you should take with?
Well, you really don't need much. A pair of binoculars would really help, a good bird book, but recently we've really seen an increase in the number of online resources, apps on your phone that can help you identify birds, find out places to go. Social media has really taken off. There's some great social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and people are just taking fantastic pictures of birds. So that might be another thing, is consider using your phone, or if you have a camera, when you go out and take pictures of those birds.
So the technology has really come a long ways in the last few years.
Yeah, technology really has. There's, like I said, some really great apps out there. One of my favorite apps is called Merlin Bird ID. And there's kind of a field guide on there, so you can go through and look at the different birds that might be in your area. A tool where you can, punch in how big the bird was, what color it was, and it'll give you options of what it might be. There's also a couple cool features where you can take a photo of a bird, or even use a sound recording, and it will tell you what that bird is. So that's really fun.
North Dakota has a diversity of landscapes, habitats. Where are some places you would recommend for people to go to?
So North Dakota has the most wildlife refuges, national wildlife refuges, out of any state. So those are great places where you can go, and they're scattered throughout the state. So if you're in Bismarck, you could go to Long Lake National Wildlife Refuge. If you're in Grand Forks, there's Kelly Slough National Wildlife Refuge. So there's some great maps out there showing where these refuges are at, and those refuges have grasslands and wetlands. Some of them have birding drives, where you can drive an auto route and it'll tell you, what birds you might see at different spots. So those are some great places.
Wildlife management areas. Game and Fish manages over 200 wildlife management areas.
Yeah, we've got some great WMAs, like Lone Tree WMA in the middle of the state. That's a beautiful place. Some great ones along Sakakawea. Those are all places you could check out on our website. Use those same tools that hunters use to find public land, and those are places you could go.
A lot of water in the landscape.
Yeah.
We had a lot of snow, which means there's going to be a lot of wetlands that are full. Mm-hmm. Good place to find a diversity of birds, really.
Right. Just taking a drive in the countryside is great. Just be careful, if you do stop alongside a road, that you're kind of pulled off, so if anybody comes by, you don't want to be blocking any traffic on these private lands. But you could see anything from black-crowned night herons, different shorebirds, avocets, marbled godwits, great blue herons. There's lots of very conspicuous birds that are easy to see, and in the spring, summer, they're in their prime breeding plumage, so they're just gorgeous, and they're singing and calling, and they're just noisy and just fun to watch.
And if you don't know what they are, what should you do?
Pull out your phone and try out one of these apps and take a picture of the bird, or try the sound ID. It's pretty fun to use that app to help identify these birds, and even birds that you might hear and you can't see them, because some of these wetlands have cattails or grassland birds like grasshopper sparrows. And there's all these birds that are making noise, and that's been really challenging, even for birders, to learn all these different calls. So that's where these apps are really helpful to identify what those birds are.
And if you really get into birding, we have a checklist of over 400 birds on our website.
Yes, North Dakota Game and Fish does have a checklist out there on our website. It lists all the different birds you could see, kind of the time of year when you might see them. Some of these other tools too, the apps, different websites have kind of similar things that might show you where you would see a bird where. Another great website is eBird. So eBird is a great citizen science tool and you can download this for your phone too as an app. And if you go out and you keep track of all the birds you see on this list, it puts it into that website. So it's all these different birders that are feeding it and putting information in about what birds they see. And that's a great tool too. If you want to go see, bald eagles, go to that website and type in bald eagle, and it'll kind of show you some hot spots you could go to.
So the biggest thing for birding is just getting out.
Yes, just getting out. But I know it's tough. We're all busy, and it can be tough to go just take a drive one day. But so you could just sit in your backyard, and these apps can be used, or bird books. Just start noticing the wildlife around you. But yeah, especially the app. If all these different birds are calling and warblers, and you don't know what they are, just start playing around with that. It's a great way to get kids outside because it's a fun tool to play with and get them excited about all the birds around them.
And North Dakota has a state bird. What's our state bird?
Our state bird is the western meadowlark. And we have seen a steady decline in western meadowlarks. We still have a lot in the state, but some people will say, I just don't see as many meadowlarks as I used to, or some people say, I haven't seen one in a long time. So it's just a great time to get out, take the family for a drive. If your kids have never seen the state bird and watched them and just heard them calling, then you don't have to go far. Just take a drive, go to one of these refuges or WMAs, anywhere where there's grass, fences, cattle. Those are good places to look for meadowlarks sitting on fence posts and just enjoy them.
A lot of great information, Sandra. Thank you.
Thank you.